Okay, so video number 6, seated postures and half lotus. After you've done all of the postures that we've learned thus far up through Purvottanasana, so that's stretching the front of the body, before you move on to the back bending and finishing postures, we'll insert the next seated postures there. So we always save the back bends and then finishing postures, of course, for last. So we take the vinyasa between poses and between the sides. Okay. So from downward facing dog, after Purvottanasana, we continue with the vinyasa. And inhale to step or jump through the arms and take a seat with straight legs for Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana, half bound lotus posture. Right leg first. So we're going to bend the right knee and close that joint to protect the knee, opening the hip to the side. You can reach under the shin from the inside so that you can gently place the right foot in the crease of the left hip. So if that's too much for you, let the foot be a little bit closer to the knee. You want to make sure your ankle joint's on the inside of your femur or thigh bone. You can gently fold forward there using the hands along the mat as support, or you can go for the full expression of the pose by wrapping the right arm around behind the back and clasping hold of the left big toe. It's an inhale to lift the chest before you exhale to fold forward into Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana, half bound lotus. So make sure there's no discomfort in your knee here. If there is, really back off, give it time. And perhaps it's best to see a qualified teacher in person before attempting this posture if you feel pain there. Inhale, upward dog, keep the legs strong. Exhale, downward dog. Shift the gaze forward, engaging the bandhas. Jump and sit down, inhaling to come through. Again, bend the knee. You can close the knee joint, gently place the right foot high up on the right thigh at the crease of the hip. You can wrap the right arm around, either reach for the foot or maybe grab the toe. The right hand takes the side of the right foot. Inhale to lift the chest and exhale to fold forward if that feels good. Always be super mindful of the knee. We want to close the knee joint and open from the hip in order to protect the knee. So avoiding any sort of torque in the knee, especially if you're doing this repeatedly over a long period of time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release the pose, cross the shins, squeeze the thighs into the chest, lift the body, swing through the arms, and jump back. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great. Tiryang Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Inhale, jump through. Straight legs, sit down. Bend the right leg so that the shin comes back along the thigh bone. You can roll the calf muscle out of the way if you need to. Try to get that right heel up close to the right hip, and you want to ground down through the right sit bone as much as possible. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to fold forward. Take hold of the sides of the feet or perhaps clasp the wrist beyond the foot. It's also an option to use your left hand here to on the floor to prevent the body from tilting excessively to the side. Dropping that right hip to the floor, try to keep the body straight. 5 breaths, then inhale, lift the chest, lift the head, and exhale there. Release the pose, cross the legs, inhale, lift the body up, swing through the arms, and shoot the legs back, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tiryang Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana, the second side. So 3 angles, 1 foot facing up pose. Bend the left knee. You can roll the calf muscle out of the way. Adjust yourself so the hips are square, both sit bones down. And here you can see I'm demonstrating using the right hand as kind of an outrigger to help keep the body straight. Or take hold of the foot with both hands and fold along the leg. Try to center the heart over the leg or the inner line of the leg. Keep dropping that left hip towards the floor. Right leg is engaged. The foot is flexed. The shoulders are relaxed. Gaze at the tip of the nose, or if you can touch the chin to the shin, you can shift the gaze toward the big toes. Breathe deeply. 5 deep breaths. Inhale, head up. Exhale there. Release the pose. Cross the legs. Inhale, lift the body up. Try to swing back through your arms. And shoot the legs back. Exhale, keep the body strong. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Janu Shirshasana, A position, head to knee posture. So shift the gaze forward. Use your core strength to keep your hips up. You can step or jump. Here I'm demonstrating the step. Come through, straighten the legs, and sit down in Dandasana. Bend the right leg so the sole of the right foot comes high up against the left thigh. So the heel is right up close to the groin and the thigh bones are at about 90 degrees. You can fold forward here as I'm showing with a flat back. It doesn't have to be all the way to the leg, but as you become more flexible, you can start to try to touch your nose to your knee and eventually try to touch the chin to the shin in full extension of the spine, gazing towards the big toes. The hands can hold the side of the foot, or as I'm showing here, if possible, they can clasp the wrist. Breathe deeply. Try to keep the length of the right thigh bone grounding down. And that right leg is active, so that right foot can be dorsiflexed as well. Still sealing up Mula Bandha, the root lock. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale there. Release the pose, cross the legs, and inhale, lift the body up. Try to swing through your legs, or just bring the hands forward and shoot the legs back. Chaturanga, keep the core engaged. Inhale, open the chest with strong legs, and exhale, lift from the hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Other side, so we take the vinyasa, again demonstrating the step through, which really helps to build the core strength. Sitting down with control, straighten the legs. Janu Shirshasana A, second side, bend the knee, bringing the heel up close to the groin. Thigh bones about 90 degrees, lift the chest on the inhale and exhale, fold deeply forward along the leg. Breathe deeply. 1, keep the shoulders relaxing down the back. Use your core strength, Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, to help draw you forward. 2. Again, the arms are still in line with the shoulders, so not just dropping them to the floor. Keep them working. 3, shoulder blades down the back. Right foot flexed, right leg engaged. And 5, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale there. Release the pose, cross the other foot in front, so alternating sides. Inhale, lift up. If possible, swing through, or you can just rock forward and jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Janu Shirshasana, B position. So this is very special posture. We'll sit our Mula Bandha on our heel. So jumping through, using the core strength as much as possible to come through. Again, bending the knee, much like in the previous posture. Really flex your right foot. Lift yourself up and sit Mula Bandha, so the perineum or the anus, directly on your heel. Lift the chest on the inhale and exhale to fold along the leg. So Mula Bandha at the perineum is a very esoteric and subtle energy center. At the beginning, we can experience it as more of a muscular contraction. So that's what we're going for here. Strong muscular contraction around the perineum and the anus. So sitting on the heel. Inhale, lift the chest. You can see the big toe from the inside of the inner thigh here. So the foot is flexed. Taking the vinyasa, inhale, pick it up, and exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. So shifting the gaze forward, shoulders come over the wrists, press into the floor, and jump. Try to keep the legs up as you come through, and then sit down. Bend the left leg, pick yourself up, sit Mula Bandha on your heel, reach forward, take hold of the foot, and inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to fold forward. So see, here I'm using the hands to kind of support myself. Ultimately, you want to clasp the wrist beyond the foot. Breathing deeply. Practice strong Mula Bandha, the root lock. Try to touch the chin to the shin, if possible, gazing toward the big toe. If that's uncomfortable, just gaze toward your nose. Keep the straight leg active, foot flexed. Inhale, lift the chest, head up. Exhale there. Release the posture, cross the legs. We always practice this. Pick up, inhale, lift the body up, and then exhale, jump back and lower down. Keeping the core engaged, nice strong chaturanga. Inhale, strong legs in upward facing. Exhale, coming fully into downward dog. You're going to jump through on the inhalation, and then exhale to lie down. Preparing for the back bends. Again, here we'll demonstrate the half bridge posture. So this is preparatory. At this point, if you're comfortable doing a full back bend, you can do a full Urdhva Dhanurasana, or you can prepare by doing a slightly more accessible half bridge posture as I'm demonstrating here. You can also do a combination of these moves, so maybe 2 bridge postures, and then 1 to 3 Urdhva Dhanurasanas. So here, preparing for Urdhva Dhanurasana, bring the hands back by the ears. The fingers can turn slightly out if needed in order to keep the upper arms parallel and the elbows in. You might want to make a pit stop at the top of the head and adjust the arms before inhaling all the way up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So keep the legs strong and the arms strong. The feet are parallel. Try to send some of that back bend into the thoracic or mid to upper back. So the heart presses forward, opening the shoulders, and the tailbone reaches towards the heels. So it's not all focused in the low back. Lift the head out of the way before you exhale to come down. If you like, you can hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a little break here. And then let's do one more. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Feet parallel, hands by the ears, by the shoulders, upper arms parallel, elbows in. Inhale, use the glutes to lift up. And then the glutes can stay toned but not clenched, okay? You want to allow for some space in the low back. Keep the arms straight and strong. Press up out of the shoulders. Keep the feet and the thighs as close to parallel as possible, stretching the front of the body. Lift the head out of the way and lower down to the shoulders with control. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. Curl yourself into a little ball to release the low back. You can hug the knees into the armpits if that feels good. And then inhale, rock up. And we do the counter pose. Paschimottanasana. Take either A, B, or C hand position, your deepest position. Inhaling to lift and open the chest, and then exhaling to fold deeply forward. Again, I'm just demonstrating there with bent knees and different hand positions. Go ahead and take your preferred deep position and stay there for 10 deep breaths. Keep the pelvic floor engaged. Practice Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Relax the shoulders. Slow down the breath. Listen to this steady, rhythmic sound of your Ujjayi breathing. Keep the feet together and the feet flexed. So draw the toes back. Don't let the feet fall apart. Lengthen through the spine. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Exhale there. And take Sukhasana position. So, seated posture, Jnana Mudra. Practice Tristana, that is the threefold focus of asana, your seat or posture, which includes Bandha, Mula Bandha, and Uddiyana Bandha, the root lock, and the flying upward lock. Second point of focus is the breath. Take deep, rhythmic, steady Ujjayi breath with sound. These are our longest, fullest breaths yet as we finish the practice. And Drishti, the third point, the gazing point at the tip of the nose, Nasagra Drishti. Take at least 10 deep breaths and count your breaths. It could be more, it could be 25 breaths here. Maintaining the focus on the breath. And then lie down and take rest. Relax the body, relax the mind. Stay there for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And practice all of the postures that we've learned thus far, at least 4 to 6 times this week, and maybe also for an extra week or two before moving on to the next lesson. Namaste.